Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is Brennan Plays. This is week 3 of July, building towards the Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view here for our Dynamite save. Well, storylines are all set. You know, we've got some big matches coming up, including Jericho, Darby Allin, as well as Danielson and Miro. It's probably our big headline match for the pay-per-view. Trios Championship, the Blackpool Combat Club, Undisputed Elite. But ultimately, I feel like it could be a bit of a weaker card. That's the concern that we've got. We've got a few new things we're trying, a few new things we're working on, and a lot of new talent we're trying to get, up and running. Lots of new teams as well. Obviously, new trios we're trying to establish, new tag teams in some sort of ways we're trying to establish. So we are at a bit of a transitional point through this save, which is exciting, but also challenging at the same time. But nonetheless, we have this week's edition of Dynamite booked. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, on the pre-show, Morrissey's talking about his big win last week over Jake Hager, 55 at the promo. There's improvement, there isn't there? Morrissey's gained some more popularity after beating Hager. Anderson's getting better, his popularity's growing. There's some definite improvement here with this act. Not giving up on it yet. It's been a slow start, but hopefully we can keep building on it. The Premier Athletes. So they're a new tag team here in AEW. They are in real life, they're teaming up. They're called, I think, the Varsity Athletes in real life, which is just too close to the Varsity Blondes. You've got a varsity team already. So we're going to do a play on Tony Nese's old name of Premier Athlete. We're just going to call these two the Premier Athletes. They are a part of Team Taz, though, of course. So Team Taz is expanding in that sort of way, and they're taking on Cabanahausen. So they actually pick up a win here over Cabanahausen as well for 43. It was in the pre-show, of course. So we're trying to get Josh Woods established. We're trying to see if this team of Woods and Nese is worth trying. I think so far they have a lot of potential to be a decent little mid-card team. Speaking of new teams, Gates of Agony, the two new guys. Of course, part of Ring of Honor. We've signed them to Ring of Honor. We're bringing them in here to AEW as well, just to kind of see what we've got to work with here. Jasper and Toa. So Jasper's at 40, Toa's at 25, and they took on the Hardys. So we got the Hardys here to work with the new team, and they had a decent match, 56 rated. So yeah, look, trying to see what we've got here with Gates of Agony. They don't have a lot of popularity, but Jasper Korn or Khan, I think maybe. I forget how it's said, but he had a 40 rated performance. So there is something there. They might be decent. Ring of Honor's losing a few tag teams since we're bringing the Arse Boys up. So this is a good way to kind of replenish our tag team division in our developmental. All right, we're going to open up the show this week with Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley teaming up to take on Red Dragon. 82 rated match. Probably the last chance we'll have of seeing Red Dragon in a tag team match. So we figured we might as well go with it. Instead of having Moxley and Kingston, which we've seen before, we had Claudio instead. And they had a pretty freaking good match, 82. Claudio 72 performance, Moxley 80. Best in the match is actually Kyle O'Reilly. 82, that is pretty good. Pretty good. Adam Cole on commentary as well. Claudio Moxley got the win though. Bobby Fish taking another L. So yeah, Bobby Fish is leaving, so we have to make sure that he takes some L's on his way out and keep the Blackpool Combat Club strong. Adam Cole strikes with a weapon, and the Undisputed Elite fend off the Blackpool Combat Club and lay them out. So Eddie Kingston tries to help out here and save the day, but he can't do it. So the Undisputed Elite here actually end up standing tall. So they took a loss in the match, but they end up getting a bit of revenge back after the match. Jake Hager loses to Billy Gunn in a 36 rated match. Hager 50, Billy Gunn 32. Yeah, not a good match, but again, we're going to get rid of Hager. I've had enough of him. He can go. And we're bringing back Billy Gunn, so he's going to get a bit of a push here, and he's going to go over Hager to try and boost his popularity. After the match, backstage, the Guns are celebrating their big win and are welcomed to AEW by the Natural Pros. The Guns, though, don't care. They're not interested. They are arrogant, kind of playing up their heels, being heels, and we kind of start a bit of a rivalry here between the Natural Pros and the Gunn family. So Paul White, Frank Kazarian, Dustin Rhodes, probably going to set up a trios match between the Guns, Billy Gunn, and those guys there. So 46 for this one, not too bad. Not a bad. Like I said, we're trying to establish some lower card lower card trios, and we have to turn the Guns to being heels, which we're going to do here. So yeah, we might as well do it. Actually, yeah, we haven't actually set Austin Gunn to turn heel yet, so we'll wait until we do that. So another segment or two before we can do that. 2.0, they've got a promo about the Trios title, 45 rated. I like 2.0, I do. I think they've got a lot of opportunity to be a great trio team for us, so we need to get them over. So we're trying to do that here with some promos, at least some TV time on Dynamite will help. Brian Cage, Ethan Page have a match, 72 rated. Brian Cage scores a win over Ethan Page thanks to Keith Lee getting himself involved and costing him the match. So 74 for Cage, Ethan Page 58. So really good stuff there by Brian Cage. Great match from him. Dan Lambert, we're going to fix his gimmick, and his new gimmick is great. So that's good for Dan. Yeah, Ethan Page will take on Keith Lee, but it looks like Brian Cage is still going to stay involved in this storyline. I think it's good for him. He's definitely deserving of doing something rather than just sitting on the sidelines waiting, because he's performing pretty well. 74 is nearly like upper tier, low tier main eventer, or at least that upper mid card tier. That's where Brian Cage is at, and he's performing like one, so it's really good. Miro has a sit-down interview about his match with Danielson for 79. So Miro and Ken Anderson talking to Tony Schiavone. 79, good stuff, really good. Anderson, he's got a new catchphrase, so it's really helping his segments as well, which is great. Athena and Jamie Hayter had a 61 rated match. Athena scores the win. Want to try and start using Jamie Hayter some more. She's a part of the Superbad faction here in our save. She's obviously the person that kind of takes the losses for that group. So we want to try and get her some more opportunities and maybe see if she can get some popularity by at least, competing against some top names here in our division. Chris Jericho demands a rematch with Darby Allin. So he storms into Sting's office demanding a rematch, 82 for this one. So he wants a rematch after losing to Darby in Canada. Sting, I think, will give it to him, so we'll build towards that match. Matt Sydal had a match with the Butcher for 48. The Butcher scores the win over Sydal after cheating his way to a win. So the Blade has gained a lot of popularity, so I wanted to try and even these two guys out by having the Butcher score a win. So we're trying to keep Matt Sydal strong, I believe, with a tainted victory, to make sure that, look, they have an okay match, but just ultimately try and build the Butcher's popularity. So that's the goal out of this. Yeah, we are, trying to give the Butcher and Blade a bit of a push. So that's the plan, and hopefully it works. Bryan Danielson, he has a sit-down interview this time, so he gets a chance to kind of have a bit of a rebuttal after Miro's comments. 84 for this one. So no physical confrontation, but 2 interview segments here talking about their upcoming match. 84, so good solid promo work from both guys. MJF, he rose Proud and Powerful, and he pretty much hypes up the fact that, FTR, the team to beat right now. He's roasting Proud and Powerful and the Lucha Bros about their upcoming Triple Threat Tag Team Championship match. So MJF playing like the manager role at the moment. He's just kind of, trying to win back the Pinnacle's trust. So he's trying to be really over the top and just talking about how great his guys are. So 82 for that one. And the main event was one member of each team in a Triple Threat match. Dax Harwood gets the win over Phoenix and Santana. Triple Threat match, 76 rated. Dax 75, Ray Phoenix 82, Santana 68. Good match, good performances for sure. I think I'm pretty happy with that. MJF actually gets himself involved and helps Dax Harwood get the win. So still advancing that storyline where MJF is really trying to help out the Pinnacle and keep the Tag Team Championships around their waist. So good, solid match there. And a big brawl after it. So huge brawl breaks out. MJF has to help out the Pinnacle because Death Triangle are there. Santana and Ortiz, they're all fending each other off. Their big brawl breaks out. 72 for that one. And we did it. 79 rated show. We did help advance the company's popularity just. So we're still getting ourselves just over the line. It was a good, definitely good show. Obviously, the opening match was the best, 82. So we had some good, solid wrestling. So I'm not too surprised that we had a 79. Most of our segments were pretty good, apart from really trying to push the lower popularity guys. I think it was a pretty good show. So a couple things we're going to look at after our episode of Dynamite. Obviously, Billy Gunn got a win over Jake Hager. He now moves up to 45 popularity. He had about 40, so that's a big jump for him. he needs it if he's going to be successful in this trio, and obviously to try and help the entire group of the Guns just get themselves over. Billy Gunn's got a bit of popularity. It will help with their segments, with their talking promos, and just it's everything in general is a big plus. The other one I wanted to highlight was the Butcher. So we wanted to try and get him some popularity, considering the Blades got it. So the Blades got 33, and now the Butcher has pretty much the exact same popularity after beating Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal, his popularity didn't change, but yeah, really good. So the other thing, I guess, Andy Williams is set to retire. So he's meant to be retiring soon in our game. So I don't think he's still going to. I mean, it was meant to be retiring 3 months ago. So he would be set to retire any second now, pretty much. So I wonder if that's going to happen. Week 2 in April, it's now week 3. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be happening anymore. But nonetheless, one of the other things I want to kind of talk about was one of the changes that we've made. So in real life, one of the things AEW does is have what they call a subscription service, AEW Plus, for their international viewers. Being an international person myself, I'm actually subscribed to that. So I wanted to kind of replicate that in our game. So to do that, we'd have to spend a bit of money to be able to make that happen. And that's something that I was kind of happy to do because, we've got plenty of money up our sleeve now. We've got, $12 million. I think we had more than that. We had nearly $15 million. So we had plenty of money to spend. So we actually end up spending quite a bit, like $3 million, something like that. So pretty much all the profits we're going to be making this month were negated, plus all the profits for the next 6 to 12 months. So we're going to lose money for quite some time now. So we really need CM Punk to kind of push his merchandise sales up just a little bit. But we're using this to basically help our coverage internationally, especially with Rampage, Dark, those sort of minor shows, trying to boost them up. So AEW Plus, so it's going to be an extension of the Fight TV basically. So it'll have small coverage, pretty much internationally. It's no coverage in the US at all, so just small coverage internationally, which I think is good, just to kind of help gain maybe some viewers internationally and give them some opportunity to watch the show, because not every area is covered internationally at the moment for us. We're also trying some different things. We've gone away from ESPN Plus. That's where we had Dark, and we're going to be moving that over to Hulu Plus. Actually, I think we could be doing both at the same time, actually. Yeah, so we've been able to do a deal with Hulu and ESPN, so we've been able to have both broadcasters for Dark, as well as obviously our new AEW Plus subscription as well. So I'm not confident that it's going to gain us any sort of money or anything like that. But if we want to continue to invest in it, doesn't cost a lot to kind of expand into the US, Canada, and Mexico region. But we're looking at millions of dollars if we want to go further beyond that for the other parts of the world. But yeah, it's just a nice little change to kind of help boost up our viewership in those areas and just kind of help give us more exposure. So our break-even points, look, we need probably 40. We probably need 50 popularity in all the British Isles, Japan, Europe, Oceania, and India to gain money out of it, which I don't think any of these areas are close. The British Isles is close, Japan's sort of close, and the others are nowhere near it. So we're not exactly going to be making any money out of this broadcasting deal, but the point of it is just to try and expand our presence overseas. So just to continue on that note as well, so Ring of Honor will also have that AEW Plus subscription opportunity. Now there is the Honor Club as well, which is more America, but now we've also got AEW Plus, which is more overseas. Now I'm actually really surprised that it's worked this well. So typically, Ring of Honor will get 280,000 to 300,000 on TNT, plus maybe 50,000 on the Honor Club. Well, this week, AEW Plus added 270,000 viewers internationally, which is quite a lot. Obviously, that's nearly doubling the rating for Ring of Honor. So I'm surprised by this because Ring of Honor only has maybe 20 or 30 popularity overseas. So to get that sort of viewership is huge. Speaking of the Ring of Honor show, not much really happened. It was only 50 rated, 750 in attendance, which is good. That's not bad. Mia Yim defending the Ring of Honor women's title. Rhett Titus defends the World TV title. So there's a few different things to look forward to there. I think Mia Yim, we're probably going to have to release her. I think she's going to go back to the WWE. So it's been good that we've had her. But she might be on her way out. Maybe she'll join up with AEW with her husband. I don't know. So there's a chance that we can keep her there. Hopefully we can. But yeah, so it's really good news. Our viewership could really increase internationally, which is always great because there's not a lot of great international companies. So we can improve our international presence. That'll be great. We do have Kenta. We brought him in Ring of Honor for a little bit because he's a free agent, so I figured we'll give him some work. He's only got a month left on his deal. I'm not going to renew it. I'm going to let him walk, but because I figured, he's someone that probably wouldn't hang around that long. Plus, he hasn't really won too many matches yet so far in Ring of Honor, so I don't know how happy he would be in Ring of Honor at the moment. But other than that, that's really all there is. The viewership for Dynamite was pretty good, 1.5 million in total. So we probably should take a look to see if our Dynamite viewership really increased with our new subscription. You'd have to probably think it would have. So AEW Plus, yes, 430,000 subscribers watched AEW Plus. So that's massive. I'm guessing though, what that's doing is that all those other international broadcaster deals that we have are all pretty much negated because we have some good international deals with Japan and I think New Zealand. So having AEW Plus has pretty much meant that no one's going to, watch through those channels. They're going to just watch through AEW Plus. So it kind of negates it a little bit. So our viewership, if you'll notice, 1.5 million in total. It did go up 400,000. So maybe our international viewership wasn't as good as I thought. At least we used to have it. So yeah, look, it's a bold move. We had to spend a bit of money to do it. So there's a chance that maybe we will get some money back out of it. That's getting a lot more viewership than I thought. All right, on to this week's edition of AEW Dark. On the pre-show, Sean Dean, Wheeler Yuta, 49 rated match, Wheeler Yuta picking up the win. Now on to the main show. We got the Gunn family out here in the ring. They want to put the entire AEW locker room on notice. They want to tell everyone how great they're going to be, how they're going to be the next Trios champions. They want to be the best in AEW. Well, the Natural Pros approach them. They come out to the ring and they plead with them. Guys, it's great that you're here. We really respect you. We've respected what Billy's been able to do in his career, but please, let's make sure that you guys go about this the right way. We don't want to see you cheating. We want to make sure that you win fair and square because it'll be all that much more worth it at the end of the day. So we are foreshadowing a heel turn from the Gunn family, setting up a rivalry here with the Natural Pros. I think it's a good way to get them underway, beat the Natural Pros, they get a bit of steam, and then we can move them on to someone bigger and better and hopefully get a bit of popularity out of it. So 48 for that segment. We do have some changes to handle, but we'll do that when we do an official turn. Next up, Swerve and Ryan Nemeth went one-on-one for 48. Swerve 66, Nemeth 28. Wanted to give Swerve a win. I'm thinking that we might try and start pushing him more as a solo act in the upper mid-card area. Give him someone to kind of feud with and work with. I don't know if Swerve's best spot is a babyface because I'm seeing him in real life as a heel. I think that's much more suited for him. He's doing pretty well there. When he came in, I just wasn't interested in him. But as a heel, it just seems that more interesting. So I'm thinking maybe we replicate that. Maybe we go with heel and then we can do a proper Keith Lee and Swerve feud potentially. Or maybe just let Swerve do his own thing for a while whilst Keith Lee does his own thing for a while and just kind of see how it goes. So we are trying to change pretty much everyone's gimmick in AEW that is not good. So JD Drake, for example, has an awful gimmick. So we're going to try and change it, and his new gimmick is adequate. So apparently he's going to sell more merchandise than usual. So he'll sell one t-shirt, and it'll now be two. So congratulations to JD Drake. Colt Cabana and Danhausen, they are mocking the Acclaimed, and they create their own rap mocking the Acclaimed in their own way. So 43 for that one, continuing their rivalry. We've got Tay J and Ruby Soho teaming up in a 6-woman tag to take on the baddies and one of our created people, Tonya Capes. 59 rated match. It was an eye candy match. Best of the match was Anna J. Kira Hogan, 63, only slightly behind Anna J, 64, so not too bad performance there. More gimmick changes. So Anna J, at the moment, she's got the Dark Order gimmick. I'm going to get her away from the Dark Order, I think, and just have her and Ty Mello doing their own thing. So we're going to give her the Queen Slayer gimmick, and that's been given a rating of very good. So that might help her get over, because Anna J is one of the most popular women on our roster right now. Can you believe it? I don't, but she's got 45 popularity, I think, which is nearly the best, apart from maybe Soraya and Jade. So it's pretty crazy when you think about it. Next up, Best Friends have got a promo, hyping themselves up. So technically, Willa Yuta and Chris Statlander are still a part of Best Friends in our game. Not that we really have them interact that much, but they're there. They're all there, all 5 of them, cutting a promo to hopefully boost them all up a little bit, just get them on TV, and hey, we're here. So 54 for that one. Jake Hager loses to Dante Martin. That's right, Jake Hager takes an L to Dante, 47 rated, trying to boost up Dante and let Jake Hager take another L on his way out of the company, 47 for that one. I think we had the Butcher and Blade might have been ringside, watching on, so keeping an eye on this match to advance that storyline. Speaking of them, the Butcher and Blade attempt to beat down Flying High, but Matt Sydal and Darius Martin come out to help Dante, and it's a numbers game because the Butcher and Blade don't have any Angelico at the moment. He's out with a shoulder injury, so it's 3-on-2, so Butcher and Blade have to back off, and eventually when Angelico's back, then we'll have that 3-on-3 contest. The Private Party and Dark Order, 60 rated for their match. Private Party picking up a win. Just trying to get Private Party some momentum, get them another win, try and actually do something with them, so a nice solid win for them. Team Taz officially welcomed Josh Woods to the group, and they revealed their new team name. So they're going to be known as the Premier Athletes, not the Varsity Athletes like they are in real life, but Premier Athletes in our game just makes more sense to me. 55 for that one. So Josh Woods officially part of Team Taz. Tony Nese and Woods will be a team going forward. So, trying to boost up Team Taz, keep it a thing. Taz is still doing commentary, but I still think there's some value with him, mentoring a few different guys. So, Jesse McKay and Yuka Sakazaki went one-on-one, and we had Yuka Sakazaki pick up a shock win. So, look, I'm not trying to bury Jesse McKay or anything because we kept her strong. It was a quick, clean, out of the blue sort of finish. But we need Yuka Sakazaki to get some popularity. If we're going to have Shining Force as a legitimate tag team. Unfortunately, Jesse's got to do the job here. But we're trying to make it so she doesn't lose too much popularity, if any at all, to try and boost up Yuka. So we're trying to risk, this match and try and, at least get something out of it going forward. But look, you've got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice a few people. So, but I'm not too worried. I mean, the Inspiration, we haven't really done too much with them. They've been involved in some high-profile feuds, but they've pretty much lost majority of their feuds. I think for me, that's probably because they're not in AEW in real life, so I feel like it's not, we probably shouldn't push them all the way to the championships, for example, when they're not technically there, but they've served their purpose. They've given us a legitimate team for someone to kind of feud with, and at some point, I'm sure I'll give them that big championship win. So Raya's got a promo here for 55. She comments on Jade Cargill's title reign so far. Not too bad. Look, obviously we are building towards Jade and Soraya for the championship. Probably more at like an all-out pay-per-view rather than, Fight for the Fallen. So that might be Soraya's first match back. We'll wait until then. Main event was Wardlow and Brody King, 61 rated. Yeah, a little underwhelming, I suppose. I thought this would do better. Wardlow 73, Brody King 65. I'm trying to get Wardlow more matches in the ring. I want to start preparing him for a singles push. I still like him a part of the Pinnacle. I like that association, and it's going to help him having someone, like MJF speak for him. But I just think we have to go in a different direction to what happened in real life. Keep Wardlow as the legit guy, but also, MJF, he's happy that Wardlow's kind of succeeding. It's not overshadowing MJF. Wardlow's got his own plans, and FTR have their own plans, and MJF's got his own plans, but ultimately together they're a strong, amazing team. That's kind of what I want, rather than MJF being jealous that Wardlow's getting popularity and things like that. So 61 for the match, could have been better, but Wardlow performing at 73 is good enough. I think the big money match is Keith Lee and Wardlow at some point for the TNT title. That's got to be where we get to at some point. But overall, a 59 rated episode of Dark. Into this week's edition of Rampage, and we have a hot start here as we kick things off with a big brawl. Samoa Joe searching for the Christian Coalition, and he brings him back up with Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and they come into a big brawl. It's 4-on-3, so they get the upper hand a little bit, does the Christian Coalition, but ultimately it's shut down when Sting comes in with referees and different officials to break this fight up. 79 rated, so that will help the storyline. So great segment in the end, good result. Wanted to try and just really have a big jump start sort of segment to kick off Rampage, big fight breaking out, rather than a promo, which is what we normally do, or even a match. So something a little bit different here, backstage brawl. So I think it kind of did the job. It was effective. Moving on, we got the Undisputed Elite. They take on the new team of Flying High, Darius Dante and Matt Sydal. Obviously, Undisputed Elite pretty much are on their last legs. Bobby Fish is going. So what I wanted to do is have a few different matches that we won't be able to do anymore. I wanted to make sure we tick it off a little bit. So I wanted them to just hopefully have a good match with Flying High to help them out. But it was okay at best. 63 rated. We had the Blade interfere in the match to screw over Flying High to advance that storyline. But yeah, not a great performance from Kyle O'Reilly, only 60, which is strange because, he had a massive performance last time, so I don't know. 6-man tags are just not his thing, I suppose. Adam Cole was good, 87, but yeah, everyone else was Flying High was pretty good. They all 50 plus, which is great, but the Undisputed Elite were pretty poor, so 63 for that one. Post-match, Undisputed Elite taunting the Blackpool Combat Club ahead of their match. So quick promo, talking some trash, 83 for that one. Good stuff. Jade Cargill defended her women's championship against Yuka Sakazaki for 55. Jade 40, Yuka 56. Not an eye candy match, just a straight up one-on-one. What I wanted here is I wanted to get Jade out there. She hasn't had a match for a little bit. Get her another title defense. Spotlight Yuka Sakazaki a little bit. 8-minute match. Yuki gets a bit of offense in, and try and see what she can do. See if she can hang. We gave Yuka a big win on Dark, so she's got a bit more popularity. So I wanted to try and capitalize on that a little bit and see how she go against Jade. And it was good. She was good. We had Saraya on commentary. So the next segment, Saraya distracted Jade Cargill, so she's on the commentary around that area on the stage. She's on the mic, talking trash to Jade, and Athena comes in and lays out Jade. So, yeah, a bit of a setup there by Saraya to allow Athena to get a big move on Jade, just to send a bit of a message to Jade that they're sick and tired of the way that she's been handling business here in AEW, and things could be about to change. So 56 for that one. So we are still setting up for Athena and Jay, but obviously Saraya definitely in the background waiting for that championship match herself. Keith Lee comments on the threat of Ethan Page and Brian Cage to his championship, 80 rated. I'm thinking of pivoting away from a one-on-one match between Keith Lee and Ethan Page and going with a triple threat. I just think Brian Cage, keeping him involved, he had a really good match with Keith Lee already. I think it might be the better move rather than trying to have Ethan Page as the solo match against Keith Lee. It'll still be okay, but it's definitely going to be a better match if we include Brian Cage to some capacity. Ethan Page can always take the pin to protect Brian Cage. So I think it's a bit of a win-win. So I think that might be the plan. We might pivot and include Brian Cage because he's already been heavily involved in the storyline anyways. The main event was Miro and Brody King one-on-one. Miro scoring the victory. These two have great chemistry. So they had a 77 rated match. Miro 87, really good. Brody King 62. Great all-round match as well. So we had Danielson and ringside, William Regal on commentary talking about this one. So it did bring down the Danielson and Miro storyline a little bit. I was afraid that may happen, but I'm not complaining. 77 is still good. I'm happy with that. You know, obviously Brody King doesn't have Malachi or Buddy at the moment, so he's kind of lost in the shuffle. So I wanted to kind of spotlight him here. I just thought he'd have a good match with Miro, and he did. So it was a way for Miro to get a solid win without having to have someone who's more significant take a loss. So it was good. Post-match, Miro invited Danielson to get in the ring, but William Regal held him back. Not tonight. Focus on the pay-per-view. Focus on your title defense. Stay healthy. Stay 100%. So Regal trying to be the cooler head in this situation. 70 rated for that one. So we didn't have that one affect the storyline because I didn't think it'd be a great segment because it only had a couple of minutes to it. And it was okay, 70. So probably a good decision not to. In the end, only 70 rated for the actual show. That's a little disappointing. We know we had good promos, good main event, but we just didn't have the match quality. And I think that's really because that 6-man tag let us down. I think we needed at least 70 plus out of that to get the show closer to where it needed to be. So that's a pretty poor episode of Rampage. All right, now the post-match results for Rampage and all our shows this week. First, before we get there, Saraya, she got some praise online after responding to a schoolgirl fan on social media who was suffering with self-esteem issues, and Saraya swooping in there to make her feel better. So good work, Saraya. Finally, some good news for her. That's rare. Okay, so Rampage, well, 1.257 million viewers in total. That is ridiculous, and it's got to be because of our new AEW Plus. Yes, 400,000 subscribers watching on AEW Plus for Rampage, so that's obviously a global sort of effort to get there. And you can see it's affecting our other broadcasters. BS11, I'm not sure where that is, but only 600 viewers. Cielo, only 75 viewers. ITV2, 450 viewers. Sky 5, 2,000 people. Still doing well in Canada, but obviously, yeah, globally, AEW Plus has taken over. The other networks that were hosting AEW not doing as well, but it's okay because AEW Plus doing really well. 400,000 people watching it. It's really increasing our global viewership, which is great because, you know, our TBS rating, 590,000, it's pretty low. You know, the Canada rating's good, 250,000, but when you really think about it, our actual American TV rating is fairly low, I suppose. But nonetheless, Mike Posey, he wants a pay increase, I suppose we'll do it. One person we do need to sign is Renee Paquette, which we will. I think she's still in the game. I have to take a look. Yeah, she is. So she's still in the game. Apparently she still works at WWE. I did not know that. So we'll have to fix her and make sure that she joins AEW. I think that's the only person we're going to sign. It's hard to keep up. I think the other people, of course, were Mike Bennett and that crew of people. Who Mike Bennett's in Ring of Honor at the moment. Matt Taven, he's the other one. Well, they're in Ring of Honor anyway, so the Kingdom, I'm happy for them just to stay there. We don't need to bring them up. So that's kind of pretty much the only people we need to think about signing. And that's pretty much it with that. So we'll have a quick look at some of the popularity changes that we may have been seeing. I want to take a quick look at, you know, how Dante and Darius are going. So Dante, we gave him a win over Jake Hager, pushing 40 popularity, about 35 to 39 depending on the area, which is great. And Darius actually had more popularity originally. Now it's more Dante, so Darius a little bit behind, 35 in a couple of areas, 28 mostly everywhere else. So that means that Flying High is definitely doing pretty well in that regard. Matt Seidel, 45, still the leader of that group in a way, but it's good to see. Yuka Sakazaki, well, she got the win of Jessie McKay, gone from 22, 23 popularity to up to nearly 30 in most areas. 29 with a couple of 30s. So that's really, really good. That's a good increase for her because Rio already nearly 40 pop, 37. I don't know how she's done that, but she's got there. So that means the Shining Force are pretty much ready to actually have a legitimate feud in the tag team division, which is exactly what we need. We need another couple of teams that are a bit more popularity so they can actually be, you know, legit threats to some championships. So that's really good news for us. We're trying to build that women's division. It's been slow going, but I think that we're making some good progress there. But Fight for the Fallen is our next pay-per-view. It's 7 days away. We are almost there. And our storylines, well, they were looking pretty good, but that Miro Danielson storyline taking a pretty major hit this week. So we might need a Bryan Danielson match to bump up the rating a little bit, because it's 77. It definitely needs to be more than that if we are going to get a great result. I'm a little bit worried about this pay-per-view. Normally I'm very confident coming into most of the pay-per-views that, yeah, it's going to be good. This one, I think this could be one of our worst we've done in a while. I think it's going to have to be a surprise here or there to really get it over the line. Maybe this Keith Lee match needs to really hit well. I think the triple threat ladder match might be a success. So let's hope that that could be a bit of a surprise match at this card. But otherwise, it's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking good with some of our biggest names out of action at the moment. We've had to kind of pivot and try something different. And for the most part, it's doing okay. But will it get the same sort of results as we've been seeing? I don't think so. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this edition of Total Extreme Wrestling. If you enjoyed it, leave a like on it and subscribe to see more. We'll be back with another one very soon.